So you're thinking about moving to Charlotte, living in Charlotte, and you want to know if this is a good place for you. Well, you better get to know the neighborhoods and you better get to know the suburbs of Charlotte so you can decide where is exactly the right place for you. And today we're going to show you Tega Cay, South Carolina. So stick around. Dave DeSilva with Long Tab Realty, brokered by eXp Realty here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually, I should say here in Tega Cay, South Carolina, just across the border. Today we're going to talk all about Tega Cay, the ins, the outs, some things to do, some places to go, and show you, maybe you can take a look around if the sun doesn't get in your eyes, you know, what the big attraction is to Tega Cay. It is a peninsula city. It's not a town, it's a city of about 15,000, but it's a city on the Lake Wylie, Catawba River intersection in South Carolina. So if this is your first time coming to this station, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll be the first to know every time we put out some more information about the Charlotte market in general. Regardless of whether you're coming here in 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, we want to talk to you, get on a Zoom call with you, listen to your comments, find out how we can help you be more successful when you do decide to come to Charlotte or the region. So what we're going to do from here is go ahead and jump in the Jeep, take you around, show you a couple of areas around Tega Cay, show you a couple of neighborhoods, take you to some of the parks, the schools, and then as we do that, we're going to talk to you about what are the big attractions in Tega Cay or to Tega Cay. We are weaving our way through Windjammer Drive. Hello, sir. Heading to Windjammer Park in Tega Cay, South Carolina. This is one of the premier parks in Tega Cay. It's not necessarily one of the athletic parks, of which there are many. It is amazing how many parks there are in such a nice, tight, small community, Tega Cay. But there's just a great number. I was going to say ton of parks, but I always say ton. There are just a huge amount of parks in Tega Cay, and Windjammer Park, like I said, is one of the premier parks. It's not, again, necessarily one of the athletic parks. It is one of those you would come enjoy, picnic. You can park in here only by permit only, so we'll make sure we're not getting towed out of here. But we'll just take a couple quick pictures and do a little bit of an intro, and that should be about it. But here we are in Windjammer Park, and you can see this is the typical Tega Cay view. So this is the beach at Windjammer Park. It is mid-March, people out there just hanging out, and of course it's about 75, 74 degrees today. So we're going to go up there and see if we can park somewhere and take a few more pictures. So before we leave here, Windjammer Park in Tega Cay, and drive through and continue, or actually start our journey through the peninsula and drive along the fingers and show you what's going on. Again, we thought we'd just give you one more view of Windjammer Park a little bit more slowly outside the car, kind of let you see what the beauty of Tega Cay is and what we're going to be focusing on in the next couple minutes. I thought I would just sit here in Windjammer Park, which you just saw a little bit of, and talk to you about Tega Cay in general, but I also thought that would be wasting time when I could be driving through Tega Cay and talking and showing you some of the highlights of Tega Cay. Just again, so much to see, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Tega Cay, maybe the history, a bit of it, and then how it was formed, all that good stuff, and also talk to you about the homes and the government of Tega Cay and all those important things to know if you decide you want to move to South Carolina and come live in Tega Cay. And Tega Cay is a nice little city, and officially it is a city, not a town. And that was something done on purpose when, I'll tell you later, when the town was, or the city was founded. And as you may often hear, this town, or the city down in South Carolina is just a few miles west of Fort Mill, South Carolina. I've done a video on Fort Mill and it was detailed about things going on in Fort Mill. So here we're going to get detailed on things going on in Tega Cay. But as you may very often hear about Tega Cay, the name reportedly means beautiful or lovely peninsula in Polynesian. I've heard that that's just something somebody made up somewhere, but I've also heard that that is the real deal. and it's a very popular laid-back suburb of Charlotte, about 20 to 30 minutes south of the city, and about the same time and distance from Charlotte Douglas Airport, which is west of uptown Charlotte, so about 20 to 30 minutes from there, and again, all this stuff depends on traffic. And Tega Cay sits just on the southern side of the North Carolina-South Carolina border, south of Charlotte. In 2020, the population was recorded as, I think, just over 12,800 residents, and as of 2024, the estimate is around 14,500, and we'll break off a little bit. You can see some new construction in here. Not a lot of new construction on the peninsula as far as the offshoots, and that's what I call these roads that are sticking out into the Lake Wylie. But some new construction here and there, a lot of renovation. Then there's a lot of old homes. So Tega Cay's got a lot going for it, and obviously one of the main attractions is it's sticking out. It's a peninsula, and it's sticking into Lake Wylie, a man-made lake. We'll get to some of those other attractions later, but first, let's talk a little bit more about the history and the development timeline of Tega Cay. So the original 16 plus miles of the shoreline was created in 1904 when Duke Power, that's a huge power company, Duke Power, decided to dam up the Catawba River a little bit to the south of what's now Tega Cay, on the south side. And that formed Lake Wylie, and present-day Tega Cay was created. The damming created, present-day Lake Wylie, and was done to provide a source of electric power to the whole region. So that was something that was necessarily a need in 1904, and obviously grew to what's super needed now, the electricity. So Tega Cay, first as a large development, and then next as a city, got its start around 1970 when a company called the Irving Company purchased the property with the idea of creating an awesome lake area recreational type community. And that was their idea. They were going to have a planned unit development. The whole thing was going to be just a giant neighborhood. Tega Cay was offering a ton of amenities. I think daycare was one of them, and as well as maintenance of a lot of the common area. But they offered a ton of amenities as well as just awesome lots on the water with great access and great views. And those are the ones that are now multi-million-dollar lots. And unfortunately, the development and the finances of the Irwin Company reached an impasse, and the developer declared bankruptcy. So what happened? And this was in 1970. So Tega Cay residents, they formed an association and purchased the area and petitioned the state to become a city, which it became on the 4th of July, 1982. So each year on the 4th of July, there's boat parades, there's land-based parades, there's other ceremonies to celebrate, number one, Independence Day, God bless America. There's a golf course on the right, and also to celebrate the founding of Tega Cay. Well, I've got a little bit of time as we take a look at some of the more traditional housing, and there's the golf course on the right on Windjammer Drive. Just be aware that Tega Cay is run by a city council manager, city manager type operation where there's a lot of volunteers. There's a city council of 4 members and a mayor who are, pretty much running the city. And they're selected from at-large districts around Tega Cay. The city runs its own police department, fire department, parks and rec, and half a dozen other city services like trash collection and recycling and things like that. So they do a lot on their own, and they are extremely nearby. A lot of great places to go visit, such as Carowinds, I think I mentioned, and Springs Close, and Rock Hills just to the south, and Fort Mills just to the east. So lots going on locally. I wanted to drive down here. We're on Tega Cay Drive, and this is the end of Tega Cay Drive. So you are at the tip of the peninsula right here. And obviously when you're at the tip of the peninsula, everything in about a 180-degree radius here, or 360, I guess, is a lakefront home. So some of them pretty nice, great piece of property to own. Again, lots of different styles of homes and architecture throughout Tega Cay. This is the Anchorage neighborhood. Again, right down towards the end of the peninsula in Tega Cay. A lot of brick, full brick, 2+ stories, some basements. There's a lot of walkout basements, a lot of walkout basements in Tega Cay because of all the hills. But this is one of those neighborhoods where you've got some massive homes and just, like any off-the-water neighborhood, except these have on-the-water pricing. You need to just take a look at a couple of them. There's a couple of these right down here. I believe that one right on the right. Yeah, that was a good number of years ago. Just swing around. Here's an example of the new, more modern architecture, I should have said. And then we'll head back out. And as we do, we'll talk a little bit more about Tega Cay. I was saying earlier, the late 1990s, there's a lot of annexation going on and purchases of additional property, and that's when, again, some of the more modern development, like the Lakeshore neighborhood, began, as well as a lot of commercial property was developed along Highway 160, which is one of the main roads that heads back out to I-77 from Tega Cay, from the Tega Cay area. And they've had some great projects, a number of projects sitting on 50, 60, 70, 80 acres of land where they're talking about building and have built a lot of these things, theaters, hotels, basketball courts, baseball fields, soccer fields, tennis, pools, fitness centers. We'll stop by Catawba Park in a little while, but just developed from a nice recreational residential neighborhood to an all-comers neighborhood. A lot of these homes were extremely affordable 10, 15 years ago, but again, some of those have even been priced out of the market. And what we'll do in a few minutes is talk to you about the average price in Tega Cay, number sold, number on the market, just so you get an idea about that. But we just want to go ahead and drive through here a little bit longer and take a peek at a couple more of these homes. And one thing you'll notice is the terrain. Rolling hills, lots of greenery, lush greenery, all sorts of different style of horticulture, trees, and all that good stuff. So very nice for just about anybody's tastes. All right, so now we're heading into Lakeshore, which actually was a very much older neighborhood that did get developed years later in the early 2000s. And right there is Trailhead Park. That's to the right. What am I doing? I'm coming in here on the day they're cleaning up, so we're going to drive through Lakeshore a little bit. Let me roll the windows. Kind of talk about home pricing in the market here. And for single-family residentials, right now what you're seeing are 13 homes on the market in Tega Cay, and that is 10 active and 3 coming soon. And those homes are ranging anywhere from $385,000 right now up to $999,000. The coming soon, there's one up to $1.5 million. And the sizes for those that are the active and coming soon, other than that $1.5 million home, those are somewhere between 1,300 square feet and 4,150. So you've got a pretty wide gamut in Tega Cay for pricing and for sizes. And of course, if you get a 1,300 square foot home right on the water, you might outprice a 4,500 square foot home that's on the interior. So always think about that. The average right now, the average price for active homes is $646,000. So, a couple $100,000 more than the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area. And again, that's because you've got some of these homes that are waterfront homes that are jacking up the price, or most homes are going to be jacking up the price versus any typical neighborhood in Charlotte, and that's because of the location of Tega Cay and the amenities and the schools, and we'll talk about those in a second. So you've got, like I said, that price point up to $1.5 million, and the coming soon homes, their average is $747,000. So that's what's on the market right now. Okay, so that's what we've got for homes on the market. And take a look at this right now. You're seeing a lot of these homes backed up to the water in Lakeshore. And these are going to be the homes that are the $1 million plus homes, or close to it, if not more. And, you know, some of them are older, some of those are newer, some of them have been renovated. But as far as you're looking at homes in the last 90 days, 28 homes have sold in the last 90 days in Tega Cay, and they are anywhere from 1,100 again to 4,500 square feet. The low end was 305. That's certainly not one of these homes. And the high end was just over $1 million. I think it was $1,075,000. So, you know, quite a bit more expensive on the water, obviously, than not on the water. A little more expensive on the golf course than not on the golf course. And the average home that sold in the last 90 days was $585. So right now, the average, I believe I said, was $646. And the average home that has sold in the last 90 days is down. It was at $585. Again, I would doubt if any of these that you're seeing is a $585 home, and you know, I wouldn't doubt if they were the $1 million plus homes. So, you know, we'll just drive through here a second. This is one of the enclaves in Lakeshore. So nice looking homes, and of course this is a great day to look at homes that are on the water. All right, and Tega Cay, although it may be showing a lot of some age, is not necessarily just single-family old homes built in the 70s and 80s or 90s. You've got plenty of multifamily, you've got plenty of nice luxury apartments, townhomes, and condos. And we are here looking at a couple condos, and we're in Trinity Towns. And this is a place where the condo price range is probably, well, I say probably, but it is in the upper 3s and upper 4s. We're going to drive through here a little bit. And these are, you know, just over 2,000 square feet. Some of them built in 2021, most of them. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. There was one that was a 4-bedroom, and that's the one that I think was about $495. But again, some really nice townhomes in here. And what you're going to see, the ones that have sold, ranging from 1,631 square feet up to 2,436 square feet, priced between $325 and $495, or $326.5, sorry. And the average price was $377. Now that is all the townhomes, not just the ones in here, but that's all the townhomes that have sold in the area. And what's active right now, let me go ahead and see where I can get you the best view of some of these homes. I'm gonna take a right down here. Right now you've got 14 homes active, 1 coming soon, and 6 that are under contract. So the ones I told you about that were sold, that was 28 townhomes that have sold in the last 90 days again. And so these that are active, what we're looking at is an average price of $409,000 for those active homes. And they are ranging from $344,900 to $560,000, 1,580 square feet to 3,562 square feet. So newer, nicer. Windhaven Townhomes is another place. Trinity Townhomes is what we just went through just now. So cool little places. Obviously, when you live on the water, it's probably a good idea to have a marina. And so we're heading into just do a quick drive through of the Tega Cay Marina and show you what it looks like. There's a boat launch here. I believe you can get some rentals. There's a boat store for all your boating needs. Some storage, obviously. Let's see what we can get a picture of. A little bit. There's a first sergeant. I've been an Army guy. And there's a boat launch right down there. And you're going to see a lot of the homes on these offshoot roads, these peninsulas that are pretty old. Some from the 60s and 70s. I say pretty old compared to a lot of the Charlotte area homes that are the late 90s or built in the 2000s. And here's some construction going on. So great video I'm showing you here. But again, awesome lakefront homes. Well, since I'm here too, I decided I'm going to stop in and ask some questions about the Tega Cay Marina and boat rental. See, they have a lot of stuff out here. Direct access to Lake Wylie, as you can see. And what's kind of cool is they've got, I believe, 5 pontoon boats, 10-person pontoon boats that today's prices, you can rent them for 8 hours for the day at about $545 for the day. minimal instruction. You got to be 25. You can't be delinquent, drunk, that sort of thing. But great opportunity to come down, do a little bit of on the water entertainment. You can also do a night cruise. They have, I believe it's 2 hours. You can get a pontoon boat for 2 hours for about $250 just to enjoy maybe the sunset if you can see it over the top of the mountain. So that's the Tega Cay Marina. Okay, if you go back and you start talking about the attractions to Tega Cay, you've got to start talking about the schools. The Tega Cay Elementary School. It's one of the 3 elementary schools that Tega Cay goes to. And they go to one middle school, Gold Hill Middle, and then Fort Mill High. And all of these schools, if you look at greatschools.org, are just well-rated schools, tremendous numbers on them. And you're going to see the Fort Mill school system is one of the best in the state of South Carolina, and it's a very big attraction. Here's the school, here's the playground. Of course, you've got youth soccer all over the Carolinas, especially when it starts getting nice out. But check out greatschools.org. And the nice thing you're going to see too is if you take a look at niche.com, Tega Cay itself, as a matter of fact, was rated as the #1 best places to live in South Carolina by niche.com. So we'll go around the school again and get you a little bit better look, a little bit further out. In the first one, it was a little bit close up, but this is a very new school. And as you're looking at Tega Cay's, they got an A+ in schools, and is it good for your families, and then an A in housing. So you're looking on the positive side of everything here in Tega Cay. So this is the start of showing you some of the parks, and I mentioned earlier that they're just a load. I didn't want to say ton this time, but there are a ton of parks around Tega Cay, and this is this and Windjammer are 2 of the more specified parks, if I can say that. And what I mean by that is you're looking here, you've got some soccer fields out here. They double as baseball or football fields, and then over here is a baseball field. And the whole park is named for a gentleman named Jim Turner, who was one of the early successful business development people from the region. Actually, he wasn't from around here, but he ended up in the Charlotte region, then south here into the Tega Cay area. He had developed businesses as far back as the 1940s, 50s, and then went on to create a multi-billion-dollar business. And he was born in 1910, so he's no longer with us, but his name was Jim Turner, and this is Jim Turner Field. So what we're going to do is go from here and kind of show you some pictures, maybe a little bit of B-roll, a little bit of rolling film of Catawba Park, the Tega Cay Swim and Beach Club, Trailhead Park, some of those parks, and we're going to drive by a couple, maybe just point them out as we go, but just to give you an idea of the activity that goes on in this small city of Tega Cay. Yesterday I was here and it was after 5, after 6, and there were just kids all over the place with parents all over the place. And so I want to kind of show you this park when there's not as much noise. I was at Catawba last night, just couldn't get out of the car and take pictures because all the fields were occupied. And parks like that where they have baseball, soccer, tennis, pickleball, everything going on there, it was just crazy. This is, again, probably a crazy park during the evenings and in the summer, but it's a little bit smaller. So stick with me while we go ahead and jump in the Jeep, back in the Jeep, and go to some of these other beaches, parks, and we're going to go to Nevin Creek, a place where you can put in your boat. It's a public launch location on the Lake Wylie, and they do have those here for the public, and they have those for private use as well. All right, since we talk about Nevin Creek, here we are. This is a public boat launch into Lake Wylie, and it's east of Tega Cay. All right, we've relocated from, hopefully you can hear me over some of the cars, but we've relocated from Jim Turner Field to Trailhead Park, and again, just inside of the Tega Cay city limits, and you can see the sign says Tega Cay Recreational Community of Lake Wylie. And this is a great little section of the park. You've got benches dedicated to all sorts of people and organizations. You've got plants with plant names on them. You can walk here from just about anywhere in Tega Cay. You might be putting on a little bit of mileage in some cases, but again, it's very walkable. It's a very walkable city. And here's what I always like to find is this memorial is dedicated to the veterans, to all veterans who served with honor in the military service of the United States of America. And so this is the mellow part of the park. There's our great flag. This is the entrance to the shoreline, or Lakeshore. I think it's Shoreline Drive, but Lakeshore neighborhood. And then over there, maybe you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit, see the yellow tops of the playground. That's the playground section of Trailhead Park. So that's the mellow section. Sit, read, enjoy, meditate, take in nature. And then we come over, you want a little bit of action. Here is the kids section. I'm just going to do a quick video here. Just a ton of activity, and this is one of the many parks in Lake Park in Tega Cay, and that gets you into Lakeshore. Okay, so what you see here is the Tega Cay Beach and Swim Club on the shores of Lake Wylie. It is on the eastern side of Tega Cay, and as you can see, you get an 8-lane junior Olympic swimming pool, the clubhouse, some other amenities with the $305 a year family membership. But it's just a beautiful location towards the back of one of the neighborhoods, the Lakeshore neighborhood. And as you can see, it's just the entryway to Lake Wylie. So from here, we're going to head out and see a little bit more. And here we're coming up on another park, municipal park, baseball field, a bunch of baseball fields, walking trail, or that trail goes all through Tega Cay. But it just shows you the dedication and the commitment to recreation and activities. Playground over there right next to the fire station. A lot committed to the youth and the activities of the city. All right, what you're going to see right up here on the right, one of the holes for the Tega Cay golf course. It's an awesome 27-hole golf course, and you'll see that off and on. Right there's a sign for pickleball courts and tennis courts. Of course, they've got a great, like I said, 27-hole public course. It is a great course. I love it. I've played there a couple times, haven't played in a couple years, but very scenic, pretty challenging for me anyway. We're going to go ahead and drive up on through here in a second. But they've got tennis courts, they've got 2 pickleball courts, I believe, several miles of trail, just anything you want to do out here as far as recreation and activities, fitness. This is a great place for it. And they have really modernized a lot of the golf amenities here. The nice thing is you drive down Tega Cay Drive and you cross over a lot of the golf crosswalks, and it is just really nice to look at, really inviting. And you can see the holes, and you just see the beauty of Tega Cay. So here's the golf club. I'm going to go ahead and drive through, so you might get to see the backside of a number of cars, but you're going to see the pavilion here as well. Oh, there's a bumblebee, it looks like. I know a few years ago I participated in an outing at one of the clubs around here, and it was actually the College Pro Tour, which was kind of cool. And they have a lot of kids events and teaching the kids how to play proper golf and get them started. A lot of them for underprivileged or less than privileged kids, or whatever you want to call it. So this is the nice restaurant right there in the pro shop. I like to see someone bringing down the flag. Kind of make sure I'm not running over any golfers. It would not be good for my insurance. But again, great looking club, great looking location. Boy, I'd like to take a picture of that big giant golf ball that's sitting at the top of the water tower. So what I'm going to do is pull over, see if I can get a picture of it. All right, typically when I'm showing you the place to go and get some food, maybe find your pet shop, all that sort of thing, I'm just doing a quick drive through. And today I figured such a nice day in Charlotte that I would go ahead and stand in a place called Stockbridge Commons. And there's another similar place that I drove through. It's a little bit more modern, updated, newer. That's called Seacrest Village. So what I want to do is kind of just show you what's in here and show you that you can get everything you're looking for if you live in Tega Cay, just within a few miles of wherever you live in Tega Cay. And so what you're looking at around here, you've got 2 bistros, you've got a pet shop, you've got an ice cream shop. Over here, you've got a little yoga store, you've got the, Piedmont Family Practice at Tega Cay. There's Dogtopia. Of course, you've got a State Farm. Another bistro over here, that's an Asian bistro. Let's see, a Dollar Tree. You've got what is that one called? Oh, that's the Smoker's Cabin. I think that's what it's called. Probably a cigar place. First National Bank over there. You got Wells Fargo, I believe, up on the corner. And of course, right behind me, one place that I mentioned is everywhere, right there. That's the Harris Teeter. So again, this is one of the many places you can go do your quick shopping for food, stop in, grab a cigar, grab some beer, go to the bistro, get some ice cream, take your dog while you're at it. And when you're doing all this stuff, if you need to go across the street, a lot of professional buildings, attorneys, there's a CPA. I saw a couple realtors over there. Again, just everything. And we're right off of the intersection of Route 160, the road that turns from Gold Hill, Tega Cay Drive, and we're right off of that route on your way into the Peninsula and the fingers that are shooting off the Peninsula. So hope this helped round out what's going on around Tega Cay. Now we're going to take a little bit of a trip down towards Baxter Village and end up there. All right, we just pulled into Baxter Town Center. This is not in Tega Cay, but it is right up the road. If you want to come here, park, go grab a coffee at the Starbucks right there, go grab something to eat, hang out. It's one of the many places that is close by to Tega Cay. And I'm going to let people cross in front of me so we can take a peek around here. But this is really one of the cool villages. Yeah, I really love Baxter. You've seen it on a couple of other videos probably. But, it's one of the places that's nearby. It just showed you a boat launch, boat rental. That was fantastic. And little people hanging out at Killington's, just sitting there, grabbing something to eat, drink. It's a restaurant pub. But you've got Daniel Stowe Botanical Gardens, covered that when I talked about the town of Belmont in North Carolina, and Springs, the Greenway there, 21 to 2,300 acres of horse farm, of activity, of learning opportunities there for educational opportunities. Again, here's Baxter Village for chilling. That's what I'm calling it. And what we're going to do is kind of go into the little town section, or not town, the home section. Again, from Tega Cay, you're on the beach. You're on the lakefront at Lake Wylie, but you're only 3 hours from the ocean, 2 hours from the mountains, 45 minutes from a different lake beach up at Lake Norman if you want to go up there, and then tons of places for camping, running, mountain biking, activities, professional sports up in Charlotte. It is just an awesome place to live. So if you're looking for more information on what's going on around the Charlotte market, like I said, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave some comments, let us know what you're looking for, and look at these trees. Yeah, I don't know what kind of trees they are. They have white things on them, but I probably know when I hang up on you. But let us know what you're looking for information. If you're coming here, get on a Zoom call with us. We've done that plenty of times. Try to help people out and kind of point them in the right direction. And that's about it. So thanks again for paying attention, for participating. If you do, leave a comment. And have a great day. Bye.